Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And it looks like a couple highly anticipated Nintendo games got a pretty major visual improvement. Yeah, earlier this year, Nintendo did reveal a couple of Pokemon games, and fans weren't exactly happy with the art style for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And then when it came to Pokemon Legends Arceus, that game had some real technical issues. But well, today, we got a pretty big update for these games over at Pokemon Presents, and wow, these games are actually looking really good. It was almost as if those games were in development, and yeah, things can improve as, game developers progress. So yeah, we will go over all that today. And also, it appears that the Xbox Series performance is actually getting better without the need for developers to actually update their game. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting things going on with that, and we're going to go ahead and dive into that and see what's happening with the Xbox Series. With that said, let's just go and jump right into it, starting off with 12 Minutes. Now, this is a game that I've really been looking forward to pretty much since they initially revealed it. I think 12 Minutes looks really interesting. It's this point-and-click interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. And you can just kind of see in the trailers how the story will consistently get more chaotic as time goes on. A person claiming to be a cop breaks into a house to arrest your wife, and things just get crazy from that point forward. I just find the whole premise to be really intriguing when it comes to this game, and I think that it could end up being a really good story-driven experience. And, well, we're actually going to find out for ourselves here very soon, because it does release tomorrow on August 19th. And the good news about that is that reviews are actually rolling out right now, and currently, as I'm recording, 12 Minutes has an 80 overall score on Metacritic. So yeah, that's a pretty good score and everything, and based off what I've been reading and what I've been hearing, it seems like there's two different opinions about this game. The story definitely is really interesting, especially the further you get into the game, and has a pretty great payoff once you complete it, but it can be a little frustrating because you are pretty much in just one singular location throughout the whole game. You're going to be doing dozens of time loops within the same location of the game and solving various puzzles, but it seems like just the evolution of the story and that payoff, it seems like it's definitely going to be well worth it. I can certainly say that my excitement has only went up based off of these reviews, and do keep in mind that this game is actually launching directly into Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, Xbox Game Pass has just been killing it here recently with yet another intriguing day one release with 12 Minutes. Now, speaking of Xbox, we need to talk about the Gunk. This was a game that was revealed quite a while ago as an Xbox Series console exclusive, and I know Xbox fans have really been looking forward to this game. This is a third-person action-adventure game coming from the same studio that's worked on the SteamWorld series. Now, the SteamWorld games are really top of their class. I mean, SteamWorld Dig 2 as an example, that's really one of the best Metroidvania games to date, but the Gunk definitely looks a lot more ambitious. You're talking about a big 3D world. It definitely has a really unique art style to it, and I can definitely say for myself, seeing a talented studio like this get a chance to work on a bigger experience like the Gunk, yeah, I'm excited to see how this game turns out. Now, with that said, I do need to kind of see more on this game because we really haven't heard or seen too much about this game since that initial reveal, but luckily that does appear to be changing very soon. Over on Twitter, the publisher for the Gunk did confirm that the Gunk will in fact be releasing in 2021. I know with all these game delays, there's always that concern that yet another game will miss 2021, but here we did get confirmation that the Gunk will release in 2021, but not just that, because they also did note that we will be hearing more information about the Gunk, quote-unquote, soon. So if you have been looking forward to this game, it sounds like we're going to get a big blowout on the Gunk very soon, and if I were to make a prediction, I really wouldn't be surprised at all if this game appears over at Gamescom. Xbox does have that big Gamescom event on August 24th, and I think we could end up seeing it there. This is an ambitious, exclusive title coming from a very talented studio. So I think Xbox knows that, and they're really going to want to show this game off as soon as they can. So I mean, with this game now having a confirmed 2021 release date, yeah, I could definitely see it appearing over at Gamescom, and yeah, that's just another reason to tune in for that event. I've said this before, but I believe that we might also see a reintroduction to Halo Infinite single-player campaign there, and now the Gunk might be there as well. Now, this, of course, is just speculation, but if both of those do end up being at Gamescom, yeah, I would say that event has already been well worth it. Nonetheless, for fans looking forward to this game, looks like we're not going to have to wait much longer before we get some official information on the Gunk. Let's go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Switch, though, because they did re-reveal a couple of those big Pokemon games over at Pokemon Presents today. Now, they had quite a bit to reveal here, actually. I'll just kind of go over a quick summary, and then we'll kind of get into my reactions for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl alongside Pokemon Legends Arceus. Spoiler alert, both of those games are looking absolutely excellent. But they did also talk about Pokemon Unite here, as the mobile version will be released on September 22nd. Of course, Pokemon Unite's already available on the Nintendo Switch, and it's a pretty decent MOBA game. It's free to play, and I'm not going to say that it's stellar or anything like that, but, you know, it's a fun overall experience. Then you have Pokemon Cafe Remix, which is pretty much what you expect. It's a remix of Pokemon Cafe with some updated puzzles and different elements thrown in. They also had some updates on Pokemon Go and in Pokemon Masters EX if you play those games on mobile devices. They even announced a new special edition Nintendo Switch Lite with metallic gold and silver Dialga and Palkia designs, which will be releasing on November 5th. That's pretty cool, but definitely the two big ones here was Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl alongside Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, let's go ahead and first kind of focus on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This game was revealed earlier this year, and fans weren't exactly thrilled about the art style in this game. It does have that chibi art style, and it didn't look amazing when they first showed it. It looked a little flat. But here with this reintroduced trailer, it looks much better visually. Yeah, it still has that chibi art style, and that's not going to change or anything, but you can definitely see a lot more detail in the models here, and especially with the lighting, it looks so much better than what we originally saw. It's a night and day difference here, and it's much more in line with maybe, let's say, Zelda Link's Awakening. Zelda Link's Awakening is also a chibi-style game, and that game had a really visually pleasing art style, and I would say that this game is more in line with that now. I don't know if it's as good, but I think that they did a pretty good job with the visuals here, and yeah, I'm definitely a lot more sold on this game than what I originally was. To be fair, I didn't really have as big of a problem as what some other people did out there, but yeah, I definitely think that visually it looks a lot better now with this reintroduced trailer. Now, they did also talk about some new features that are included in these games, including Pokemon can follow you around. There's these underground caverns that you can find exclusive Pokemon in. You can now customize your characters, and yeah, overall, there's definitely some improvements here, but the visuals is definitely the thing that I'm really focused on right now, because I really am just so happy with what we saw here today. And that goes even more so for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, the first time that we saw this game, it really did look like a very ambitious and different take on the Pokemon genre. For a lot of people, their childhood dream was to have this big, huge Pokemon world that you could explore in and catch different Pokemon, and it looks like Pokemon Legends Arceus is trying to fulfill those childhood dreams. But with that initial trailer, it had some performance problems. You could definitely see some frame rate issues. The animations didn't look great, and yeah, that did draw some concern from some different fans, because I mean, they were planning to release this early in 2022, and well, that's still the case, because they confirmed a release date today for January 28th. Yeah, this is just right around the corner, and the visual improvements, once again, just like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, is just night and day. It looks so much better now. The performance has vastly increased, and this game looks even more ambitious than what I originally thought. Now, something you need to know about me is that I'm a really big Pokemon fan. I love the Pokemon franchise. It's easily in my top 3 favorite franchises of all time, if not my very favorite. And to see Pokemon in a world like this was definitely very exciting. Now, there's some things that I don't like, and I'll get into that here in just a second. But, I mean, yeah, this is a completely new and fresh take on Pokemon games. It kind of almost reminded me of a mix of, like, let's say something like Zelda Breath of the Wild with its open world nature, but then it kind of reminded me of Monster Hunter a little bit as well. And the reason I say that is because you do have this main town in Pokemon where you can buy different items. You can actually craft in this game, which is pretty cool. And then in this main town, you will get different quests to where you go and fulfill your Pokedex. And there's definitely some dangerous Pokemon throughout the world. As you can see in the trailer, the humans in this game are actually afraid of Pokemon and just feel they're dangerous. This is before Pokemon and humans were together. And you can see here in a trailer that, yes, the Pokemon will actually attack you, the trainer. And that's kind of where it reminds me a little bit of Monster Hunter. Now, with that said, the combat, the way it actually works is that you throw your Pokeball out in front of them, and then you can actually have that more classic style of Pokemon combat with a more turn-based element to it. So I think that it's a really interesting and fresh take on Pokemon, and I'm really excited to see how exactly this turns out. Now, I don't know if anything's ever going to be able to replace that classic formula for me, and I still want them to absolutely continue to make classic Pokemon games, but I'm also excited for this fresh new take on Pokemon. Definitely excited about everything that I saw today. Now, with that said, like I said before, there's a few things that I don't necessarily like, and that really stems from two different things. In Legends Arceus, there's no trainer battles, which makes sense because this was before Pokemon and trainers was together. So it makes sense, but, you know, trainer battles has always been a big thing in the Pokemon universe. This is going to be a lot different. And the other thing is that, and this goes for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as well, but there will not be ranked battles in either one of these games. Ranked battles will continue on with Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I do understand that, but I still would have liked to have seen ranked battles in these games. Nonetheless, I mean, from everything that we saw today with both Legends Arceus as well as Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I mean, I'm just really happy with pretty much everything that I saw. Now, we also got some really interesting information on the Xbox side of things, and this one is actually coming from Digital Foundry. So, one big topic for this entire generation has been the power of these next generation consoles. And on paper, the Xbox Series X is the most powerful console on the market. And it has showcased that in several different occasions. But from time to time, there has reportedly been some frame rate issues on the Xbox Series X. This doesn't seem to be anything major, but it does seem to happen in some games, which is really odd because, again, the Xbox Series X is just such a powerful console. But interestingly enough, it seems like performance for some games are actually improving without the developers actually updating the game. This apparently was the case for Control, where it hasn't received an update but has seen an increase in performance. So what exactly is happening here and why? Well, according to Digital Foundry, they said, "We've heard behind the scenes that at the beginning, especially the console launch, we talked about it back then. There was obviously this controversy talking about it, but the fact that the Series X launched in a development state with its developer SDK and the tools using it, or even its drivers, and its internal spec was not actually completely finished, almost on a certain level. So actually by the Xbox Series X getting updated over time, could actually see moments where we see games get a performance boost, because the issue wasn't necessarily the game software itself, but something in the Xbox software development stack. So I wouldn't be surprised completely. I mean, I've heard from other developers that they have seen through Xbox updates, they've seen greater performance. So there you have it. The Xbox Series performance is actually increasing with these updates. And I mean, those mysterious stability updates that publishers just love to post? Well, in this case, those stability updates are actually really helping with the Xbox Series X performance. This is something that we kind of knew about in the past because Microsoft did confirm that they waited a little longer to get the chip that they wanted for the Xbox Series X, and because of that, they were a little bit behind with their development kits. And that is something that they're noting here with the Xbox Series X. But that's kind of impressive because these games, for the most part, have run really well in the Xbox Series X, and the fact that they're only improving, I mean, these games are just going to continue to look and perform even better as this generation goes on. Obviously, developers are going to learn how to use these consoles even better, but then you also have the tools improving as well, and that's a big thing for these Xbox Series X games going forward. I think that if you are an Xbox fan, you really have to be happy with what you heard here from Digital Foundry. Now, I also got a small but very welcome update for the PlayStation 5. If you are located in Brazil, you're really going to like this because the PlayStation 5 did get a price cut in Brazil. Now, don't expect this to happen across the entire world, but the reason this is happening in Brazil specifically is because they did lower the import taxes. Video games are pretty notorious for being really expensive over in Brazil because they do have very high import taxes, but the Brazil leader did reduce import taxes on video games, which allowed Sony to have a little bit more breathing room with the PlayStation 5. So they went ahead and dropped the standard PlayStation 5 from 4,699 real down to 4,399. Then the PlayStation 5 digital went from 4,199 to 3,899 real. Now, this is still really expensive, which translates to about $821 US or $728 US for that digital version. And the same thing can be said for PlayStation 4 and 5 accessories as well as the PlayStation 4. So this is very welcome news, and obviously I would like to see the price decrease even more, but if you are located in Brazil, hopefully this price cut helps with getting these new consoles. Now, speaking of PlayStation, we do actually need to go over the poll of the day here, and we did talk about this one yesterday, but there's a rumor going around, thanks to a data mine, that Naughty Dog might be working on a The Last of Us Part 2 Battle Royale game mode. Of course, we know for an absolute fact that they are working on a multiplayer game mode, but we haven't gotten any kind of official information just yet. But with this leak going around, I was curious if you all would be interested in a The Last of Us Battle Royale game mode. So I asked you all, and well, 85% of you said no, you would not be interested in a game like this. And just looking through the comments, it definitely seemed like a lot of you all are kind of burnt out on these Battle Royale games. We have gotten a lot of these in recent years, whether that be from Call of Duty, you have PUBG, you have Fortnite, Apex Legends, and then you have a bunch of other games out there focused on this Battle Royale genre. We have a lot of these games out there, but I actually do think that this one has some potential. I think with that faction style of gameplay that a lot of people really enjoyed with the first Last of Us game, I think that that would translate into an interesting Battle Royale style of game. Just because it has that survival element, I think it could work really well. But at the same time, I'm with you all, but not really for the same reason. I'm just really not into these Battle Royale games, to be completely honest with you. I never really got into these games, as I do prefer the more arena shooters instead. So Battle Royale games just don't really excite me. But the thing about these games are that they are really popular, especially with your big streamers. People really do like watching these games, and I think that if Naughty Dog does it right and they make a good Battle Royale style of game with, you know, that faction style of gameplay, if some big streamers pick it up, I mean, yeah, it definitely has some potential there. I guess we'll kind of see how all this plays out. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but yeah, you all definitely don't seem excited about this one. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.